Hi, my name is Regina Ramos. I'm 19 years old and I'm currently finishing up my last year of high school. Today I want to share with you how psychology is not just a school subject for me. It is something that helps me understand myself and the world around me in real everyday ways. The goal of this presentation is to show how psychology applies to different areas of my life, from my thoughts and emotions to the choices I make, my struggles, and how I manage relationships and mental health. Psychology is everywhere, whether we realize it or not. It helps explain why we think the way we think, why we react the way we do, and how our environment, biology, and experiences shape us. For me, understanding psychology has helped me reflect on how my brain works, especially when I feel overwhelmed or anxious. I've learned that many of my behaviors are not random. There are reasons behind them. For example, learning about cognitive distortions helped me recognize how I sometimes jump to conclusions or expect the worst, especially in social situations. This has made me more aware and helped me work on being kinder to myself. It also helped me better understand others and their reactions, which has made my friends and family interactions a lot healthier. One specific moment where I used psychology consciously was during the final exams last semester, last partial. I was extremely anxious and I couldn't focus, and in the past I would have just shut down completely. But this time I applied stress managing techniques that we learned in class, like deep breathing, chopping tasks into smaller parts, and using positive self-talk. I told myself, you've done your part, you've prepared, and panic does not help you. And honestly, it made a huge difference. I still felt nervous, obviously, but I stayed grounded and got through my exams more calmly. Also, when I had a disagreement with some of my close friends, instead of reacting with anger, I used what we learned about active listening and emotional regulation to really hear her out and hear them all out. That has helped us resolve things more respectfully within our friend group, and I believe it is something that has helped us during this hard year of a lot of stress. The psychological concepts that have impacted me the most are ADHD and generalized anxiety disorder, GAD. I was diagnosed with both when I was still in elementary school, I think about second grade. For about 5 years, I was on medication, and it really helped me manage the hardest parts, like staying focused in class or not feeling constantly on edge. Now I've been, I think, almost 6 years of meds, and learning about ADHD and GAD in class has given me a whole new perspective. I understand how ADHD affects executive function, things like organization, time management, and focus. Knowing that it's not about being lazy, but about how my brain processes information, helps me treat myself with a lot more compassion. With generalized anxiety disorder, I now recognize the signs of anxious thinking, like catastrophizing or over planning. I do that quite a bit, and I can challenge those thoughts before they spiral. Understanding how the brain fear response works made me feel like I had a map to navigate anxiety, rather than just trying to tough through it or just, you can do it, it's okay. These concepts have helped me take back control of my mental health in a more natural and intentional way. These are things that affect my daily life, and there are disorders that learning about them in a more deep level have helped me a lot to see it in another perspective. One topic in psychology that really interests me is the idea of neurodivergency. It's the concept that neurological differences like ADHD, autism, dyslexia, etc. are natural variations of the human brain, not just disorders to be fixed. If it's not broken, there's no need to be fixed. There's no need to be fixing anything. I find this fascinating and super empowering because it changes the narrative around mental health and learning differences. It encourages inclusion and it helps people like me see our differences as strengths. Because we're not broken, we're just different. Understanding neurodivergency made me feel proud of my creativity, my ability to think in patterns, and my empathy. Things that might not always show up on a test or an exam, but matter deeply in real life. Mental health is just as important as physical health, and yet it's still really misunderstood or stigmatized. I've experienced firsthand how hard it is to speak up about anxiety or focus issues without feeling judged or called lazy. That's why learning psychology matters. It helps us understand that mental health struggles are normal and treatable, not something to hide or feel ashamed of. By promoting mental health awareness, we create a space where people feel safe, seen, heard, and supported. We also learn to take better care of ourselves and each other. In the future, I want to be part of that change, maybe even through advocacy. To sum up, psychology has helped me understand my behavior, manage anxiety, and feel proud of how my brain works. It helps me become more empathetic and self-aware, and it has given me tools I'll use for the rest of my life. This class has been more than just a subject for me. It's been sort of personal, and I'm thankful for that. Thank you for listening, and I hope my video helped show how deeply connected psychology is to everyone's daily lives.